time. Basketball will fill the air over the Air Force Academy. And tonight, Clune Arena turns on its bright lights for the final time for 5 seniors. But to make senior night special, the Falcons will need to pull off the upset of the year as the Air Force Falcons host the Boise State Broncos. And good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Adams here with Brian German. And Brian, like we just talked about, this is the last game here at Clune Arena for 5 seniors, and they want to end on a high note.
They do want to end on a high note, but congratulations to these 5 guys for making it this far. They're going to throw their caps in the air in May when they graduate, and I expect them to bring everything tonight in the effort.
Yeah, before graduation, they have some work to do on the court, and one guy looking to make things happen is Ethan Taylor. He has been the man with the master plan all season long, leading the way for the Falcons.
He certainly has. Ethan Taylor not just shooting the ball from 3, which he's done the most in Mountain West history for an Air Force player, but he just gets everything done. He looks for his teammates, he gets them involved in the game, and he plays defense as well. The pick here and sending it home, he knows what to do with it. This guy is something special, and you can see he is rewriting the record book. You should take a look at this. First with 118 starts, tonight will be 119, and you see him there in all those places he's at, Justin.
Well, another guy who's rewriting the record books for Boise State is Tyson Degenhart. Let's put it this way. He has the second most points in the Mountain West, and also, oh, by the way, he's the preseason Mountain West Player of the Year. He's playing that way.
Yes, he certainly is. You know, he's getting 19 points, 6 rebounds a game. He can really do it all, and he really gives the Falcons trouble inside. You see him cutting inside here, and when he gets the ball down inside, it's an automatic, too. The Falcons really going to have to do something against him today if they're going to have a chance to get that upset. We'll have to see what they have to do, what they come up with.
Well, Degenhart scored 14 points and had 11 rebounds in the last game against Fresno State, getting the W there. And this is a big game for Boise State. They're sitting squarely on the bubble to get to the NCAA tournament. Well, it's going to be a fantastic game, and we're so glad to bring it to you right here on Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Starting lineups and tip coming up next. Air Force basketball on Altitude is brought to you by Intermountain Health, helping people live the healthiest as possible. Welcome you back inside Clune Arena. Let's take a look at tonight's starters presented by Intermountain Health, helping people live the healthiest lives possible as the Boise State Broncos come in with a 21-8 record, 13-5 in conference play, and the Air Force Falcons. They come in with a 4-win record on the year. They will start all their seniors. Ethan Taylor, Byron Brown, Chase Beasley, Bo Becker, and Jeffrey Mills on the opposite side. You see Degenhart, but also keep an eye on number 11, Alvaro Cardinas. He's the man who leads the offense for the Boise State Broncos.
He certainly does, Justin. Cardinas just 1 assist away from 200 on the season. I think that's something, you know, he warmed up for playing for Boise State. They're playing 3 years for San Jose State.
Right.
So now he's doing his best ball in here for the Broncos.
Pretty good practice, I would say, as we take a look at the head coaches. Let's start off with the Boise State Broncos, and this guy has been around for forever. Leon Rice, 15th season at Boise State, comes in with a 311-win record to 174 losses. And on the opposite side for the Air Force Falcons, it's all about Joe Scott. Nice season on the job with the Air Force Falcons. Look for win number 95 in his campaign with the Falcons. Well, Boise State comes out in their blue tops, blue bottoms, and the Falcons in their white tops and white bottoms, as Boise State has won 9 in a row against Air Force, and the Falcons looking to snap that in their final game as Boise State will get the first possession here at Clune Arena. Thank you so much for joining us on Altitude Sports and Entertainment. Neto, one of the starters. Neto scored 22 points, had 6 rebounds in the win against Fresno State, but the first possession ends up in a turnover.
That's a good defense there for Air Force. Got to do that all night long if they can. Stop Cardinas from getting those assists.
Falcons coming to this game, averaging 62 points a contest. Starting all their seniors, trying to chase that. Chase Beasley with a nice drive, but gets it blocked away. Nice defense on the baseline by Neto.
That's tough. I don't mind that nice strong move there by Chase. Going to the rack, trying to get a score here on senior night. This is a nice touch. You know, not all coaches do this, but Joe Scott giving all 5 seniors a chance to get their feet wet here to start this game.
Well, especially for Bo Becker. Only played 2 minutes in the loss against New Mexico. He'll launch the triple in the corner. Nothing but 3, nothing but nets. Bo Becker getting things started off on the right foot.
Great start for Bo. And I think, you know, however these seniors play, if they continue to play well, Joe Scott will leave him in there.
Tyson Degenhardt, got to keep an eye on in this game. Again, 14 points, 11 rebounds against Fresno State. As Carmichael launches a triple, rolls in and out, no good. Pearson Carmichael, freshman from Bend, Oregon, had a chance to talk to Coach Leon Rice about him, and he says, hey, he's a guy who has a lot of talent, sometimes a little bit up and down, but we love his potential. As Becker tries to do it again, and he does! Bo Becker, back-to-back triples to get things underway at Clune Arena.
You love to see it. Bo Becker getting some time and hitting his first 2 shots. It could bode well.
Bo Becker only played 2 minutes as the floater no good. Falcons on a 6-0 run, looking for more.
And Beasley with his 2nd rebound already.
Beasley with 10.7 rebounds in his 3rd start this season. His 3rd start's the 3rd game he has played. Almost knocked away from Brown. Brown gets it back in the painted area. The floater's up. Can't get the kind roll. And the rebound goes into the hands of the Broncos. Boise State comes into this game averaging 76 points a game. Really, really good team. That's 3rd best in the Mountain West. Degenhardt for 3. Off the front iron. Rebound by Beasley yet again.
That's his 3rd straight defensive rebound.
Well, nothing wrong with that, man. Maybe we can see a double-double from the young man. Senior night. As Taylor, head fake. Oh, you know he'll shoot the 3. And couldn't get that one to fall. Ethan Taylor has the most starts in Air Force history. Got to get your hand in the face of that young man. No good. Fortunate for the Falcons there as Cardinas with the miss.
Falcons want to get more done here. Only up 6-0. Boise State yet to score, but you want to score as much as you can.
Well, maybe just get the ball to Bo Becker. He already hit 2 threes. Now he immediately has that defensive pressure in his face, and Mills misses absolutely everything on that baseline J. Here comes Cardinas. 1 assist away from 200 this season. Pass up to Meadow. Spin around. The goggles and good.
Just a nice move there by Meadows. Comes inside.
Andrew Meadows, sophomore from Santa Clarita, California. And try to get the pass into Ethan Taylor just a little bit too long. Out his outstretched arms. And that'll be a turnover for the Falcons. But let's go back to Bo Becker. Back-to-back triples to get things underway.
Maybe Boise State forgot about him. He hasn't been playing a whole heck of a lot this year. Maybe he was way far down on the scouting report, but he's made them wake up to his presence so far today.
Don't forget about Bo Becker. He averaged 13.8 points a game last year. And you can see already that the Falcons are double-teaming Degenhardt anytime he gets in the painted area. So they're going to opposite side. Omar Stanley rolls around, left-hander, no good. And the hook shot doesn't go as Stanley recently checked in. Quickly up court. Falcons to Brown, and Brown, that will be a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with the Falcons. And so we'll see Wesley Silahusky come in, and he'll come in for Bo Becker. As well as the freshman who makes things happen, Will Cooper comes to this game.
And good ovations for Bo Becker and Byron Brown coming out of the game. And this is more of the maybe who Joe would have started tonight if it wasn't going to be senior night. Plenty of time on the shot clock here for the Falcons.
Yeah, Mills with it. Nice pass to Chase Beasley off the window. Good start for the Falcons. Up 8-2.
Just great execution there, but you get the feeling they want to score as much as possible while Boise's in this little drought. Good hands there by Ethan Taylor.
Ethan Taylor, a guy known for his sticky fingers, getting his hands in that passing lane as the Falcons are off to a great start. Off the 6 points from Bo Becker, they lead 8-2 over the Boise State Broncos. Falcons up by 6 over the Boise State Broncos. And for Boise State, this is a big game for them, especially when you get to March.
Absolutely. I spoke with Leon Rice, I believe you did, about an hour before the game. I said, is there any way your team overlooks Air Force? And he said, you don't overlook teams in March. This is why. The Broncos trying to get into the NCAA tournament again. Some say they're in, some say they're out. If they win big today and do well in the tournament, they're definitely in.
Yeah, I would say they are a team that's squarely on the bubble. And the Falcons hoping to pop that bubble. Up by 6 so far, Cardinas.
Wouldn't a square pop the bubble?
A little bit.
Okay.
It's only geometry, that's all. That's Omar Stanley gets the hook shot to go. Omar Stanley averaging just a smudge below 8 points a game. And nice start for Boise State out of that timeout. There's always one thing that you see from coaches is, how's the execution from their team out of the timeout? And immediately they go into the painted area.
And they go to the painted area to someone other than Degenhart. And that tells you something about the confidence they have in these other players as well.
8 seconds on the clock. Silahusky checked in to Cooper. Swings around the horn. Mills for three. Gets it blocked. And Stanley with the rebound. Degenhart looking for some help. Gets it to a wide open three. That's no good. Missed by R.J. Keene. And we'll have a foul. And that will be on, looks to be Ethan Taylor.
Yeah, they're going to call that on Ethan Taylor. The crowd doesn't like it. Meadow was there. Both players had position. The call was made from out here. And if you take another look at it, Ethan tries to box out here. Meadow, yeah, it's
senior night. No call. No harm, no foul, right? First team foul on the Falcons, still leading by 4. Stanley to Degenhart. Seen Degenhart play several times at the Mountain West. And stepping in, Meadow for three. It's nothing but nets. Andrew Meadow with the triple. That's his 45th three of the year.
And the sophomore from Santa Clara can light it up as well. Again, all these Mountain West teams have so many weapons. They just make you have to defend every single player on the court.
Falcons started off pretty strong. Now looking to keep things going as Cooper has been a revelation, to say the least, for the Falcons. And that was knocked out of bounds. Let's look more to Will Cooper as we have a substitution, and coming in for the first time today will be Javen Buchanan as Degenhart would take a sit. But was looking at Will Cooper. So in the last 3 games, he has scored 44 points. Before that, throughout the rest of the season, has only scored 45.
Right.
So he's been pretty good the last 3 games. Has a nice take and a layup. Oh, blocked away as Mills tried to say that was maybe goaltending. Couldn't get that one to fall. Stanley for 3, no good. And rebound by Chase Beasley, number 4 on the day.
Chase doing a good job getting those rebounds, but the Falcons need to get some points down here. That's been their Achilles heel. They haven't been able to score enough points.
Well, Silahusky tried to go and put a man on a poster. Can't do that, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2. And speaking of which, the Falcons haven't scored a point in the last 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
It's a nice pass inside by Beasley there. There's a foul with the body by Stanley. So Wes steps to the line, hoping to make Boise pay for it.
Wes Silahusky scored 6 points in just 11 minutes of work against New Mexico. Dealt with foul trouble as he misses the front iron. Had a lot of foul trouble in that game. And as we see Kyle Marshall come in, and it's great to see Kyle Marshall in the game. Young man had an illness, missed a couple of games. Was able to play against New Mexico, put up 30 minutes as Silahusky knocks down the second free throw. And that stops a 2-minute and 11-second streak, not scoring a point for the Falcons. Air Force comes into this game 4-25 with a 1-17 conference record. Meadow for 3. Oh, that's nothing but net. Man, Andrew Meadow with the second triple of the evening.
Andrew Meadows just spotting up, taking him. The Falcons got to get a hand in that face out there. Let's see if Kyle Marshall can get in the scorebook on this end.
Or Chase Beasley could do so, and he does. A little window shopping for the senior.
I like Chase forcing the issue on that one.
Air Force goes up by 1, 11-10. Hesitation, Meadow, got to get a hand in the face. And he just misses that, but nice rebound. Gives it out to Cardinas. He'll shoot the floater. Can't get the kind of roll, but another offensive board for Boise State leads to Keene with the head fake, and it'll be a foul on the floor, and that'll be against Wesley Silahusky.
You know, the Falcons outmanned just about every time they're playing this year, and you have to have rebounds. Meadows hits there for 3. This is a beautiful take inside here by Jace Beasley, but you cannot give the Broncos 2 and 3 attempts. They've got to be one and done. The Falcons didn't box them out the last 2 shots there for the Broncos.
Javen Buchanan inbounds the ball. Buchanan now has the ball back. Here's to Carmichael. Omar Stanley looking over, needing some help, and there'll be another foul on the Falcons. So that will be their 4th team foul. Make that the 3rd team foul, as that'll be on Kyle Marshall. Kyle Marshall is a young man with a lot of athleticism. As you take a look at Joe Scott, he is in the ear of one of the officials. Not liking what he sees, especially the last couple of calls. Good time to let you know that our game officials, Nate Harris, Crystal Hogan, and Steve McJunkins.
Oh,
nice job by Chase Beasley.
Great hustle.
Veteran hustle. Those are the type of plays you need if you're going to pull off the upset. Falcons by 1. Cooper. And it's going to be an unforced turnover, or is it? I thought I heard a whistle, did not. Carmichael then has it, leads to a fast break opportunity, he lays it in.
That's a tough situation there for Will Cooper. You want to, if you're going to try and save that ball, you got to save it towards your basket, not to midcourt like he did there. Throw that in the middle. Then if Boise gets the ball, they're not in such a great scoring position.
Third lead change of the ball game. That's one of the things that's very difficult is, you know, you're just trying to give your team another possession or save the possession that you have. And sometimes that ends up in a steal, and another steal, this time by Stanley. Gives it up to Meadow, has one man to beat, and he'll get harmed, and will go to the line to shoot 2. So Boise State starting to execute and also convert on the turnovers as well. And now the Broncos are by 1. Boise State lead the Air Force Falcons by 1, 12-11, but it's the turnovers that are slowly starting to hurt the Falcons. Last 2 possessions, they had turnovers. One ended up in a bucket, and the next one will end up in free throws.
Absolutely. There's Meadow breaking away on that one, and Air Force had turned the ball over 1 time in the first 8 minutes of this game. In the last minute of play, they've turned it over twice, and that's what's happened to Air Force this year. They turn it over in bunches. They got to stop this right now.
Well, what have you seen from Boise State? What have they been able to do to get to force some turnovers?
Well, they're ramping up their, you know, they were down 8-2, and I'm sure Leon Rice got in their ear a little bit and were like, hey, I told everybody that you guys would not overlook this team, and you're not going to let this happen to me. And you could just see the jump coming out of that first 4-minute timeout. They really turned it up defensively. Their pressure is there, and they're causing those turnovers.
Meadow makes both free throws. He now has 9 points to lead the way for Boise State. 14-11 is our score, and that is one of the things that, you know, has been an issue. And another turnover. This time, Degenhart gets the rock, and he'll lay it in. Tyson Degenhart with 2.
Kearney fresh into the game, not ready for the speed of the game just yet. It's another bad pass by the Falcons, and that's 3 turnovers in the last probably 90 seconds or less.
It was also being ready for the physicality of the game, too. You're talking about a team that is looking at an NCAA tournament bid. It's Kearney with the drive, the floater, no good. And that'll be a foul on the back court. As the foul will be on Air Force.
That's Will Cooper. Is going to be his 2nd foul already. He had the big foul on Meadow on the breakaway there, and Joe Scott's going to have to get Byron Brown back into the game. He's actually taking Luke Kearney out. Cooper will stay in.
Boise State up by 5. Degenhart trying to get the ball to the painted area. As Carmichael stops his dribble, gives it to Degenhart with 11 seconds on the clock. And he'll pull from deep. Gets that one off the front iron. Very short on that triple. It's a good defense there by Air Force. Let's see what the Falcons could do. They want to go to the painted area themselves. They have the advantage. As he gives to Wesley Silahusky. Cooper playing with 2 fouls. Kyle Marshall with 9 seconds on the clock. Has to go and do something with it. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, gives it to Silahusky. He'll launch a 3. Long. And here comes Boise State. Air Force shooting now 4 of 12. Carmichael in transition with the lay-in. Well, Boise State on an 8-0 run over the last minute 30. They now lead by 7, biggest advantage of the evening.
6 of those 8 points came off of turnovers.
How about this? 3 turnovers in the last 3:13. Nathan Taylor being played very close. See what Marshall could do. Back to Silahusky. He'll try again from deep and can't get the kind roll. Carmichael with the rebound. Boise State shooting 7 of 17. They're looking to get a little bit more. No good on a 3 by Carmichael. You can run a little bit if you want to. Marshall in transition. The hang time. Can't convert though. Keene gets the rebound. Carmichael with the head fake goes right past the freshman, gets the harm, and one. That's a big boy move for the freshman from Bend, Oregon.
Big, strong move. Taking it right into the 7-footer. Watch this. Cuts baseline. He's not worried about a 7-footer standing in there. He's going to take it up strong, protect the basketball, and put it home. It's a big play for Boise, and he's got a chance to make it a 10-point lead.
Kyle Marshall will come out, but you take a look at Pearson Carmichael again, the freshman from Bend, Oregon. He was the Mountain West Freshman of the Week for February 24th. And when he made his first career start against New Mexico on February 19th, he scored 21 points in 30 minutes. So you're talking about a young man who knows how to put the ball in the basket.
And New Mexico's no slouch.
No. I made the argument New Mexico's the best team in the conference.
Absolutely.
We've seen them up close and personal. That's a really, really good-looking team. And well, there's some teams in the Mountain West that you figure will be in the NCAA tournament. You say New Mexico. You can make the argument about Utah State. They're on a slide a little bit right now. Cooper, double team. Nice fadeaway. I like that from the freshman.
That's what Joe Scott likes about Will Cooper as well. Not afraid out there. Knows he can score against anyone. Has the same kind of mentality as Carmichael.
There'll be a foul on Caleb Walker. And that's the 16th foul on Air Force. So with 9:05 remaining before halftime. One more foul, and the Broncos will be shooting free throws. Maybe they are. Yes, actually, that's the 17th foul, excuse me. So they are going to be shooting free throws. And Joe Scott is talking with Steve McJunkins. And he's saying, you called 3 fouls in the painted area on one side. What about what's going on with our guys? Stanley makes the first of the 1-1. Well, Boise State, they've had some very impressive wins this season. There's a reason why they are 21-8 this year at 13-5 in conference play. And when you talk about what they do in the Mountain West, what they have just been dominating.
Yes, you saw it there. Utah State, they've beaten Utah State. They've beaten New Mexico. They've beaten just about everybody in this conference. And they want to keep that up. And this year, I think this team wants to make a statement. They would love to not only get into the NCAA tournament, but stop that streak of 10 losses once they get to the big dance.
Ethan Taylor's only shot the ball once, as Byron Brown couldn't get that one to go, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And there's the call Joe Scott wanted. Unfortunately, Byron Brown couldn't get the ball to fall.
So Brown steps to the free throw line for Air Force. But just like you were saying a little bit earlier, it's just when you look at a team that's been the model of consistency in the Mountain West, without a doubt, Boise State is that.
Absolutely. And Leon Rice should be commended for that. He's been there 15 years, 10 of those seasons. Boise State has had 20 wins, which is really the mark that says we're a pretty good basketball team.
Byron Brown knocks home the second free throw, 1 of 2 at the stripe. It's a 23-14. It's a 13-3 run over the last 3:30.
Falcons were down 10 at Boise, came back in the first half of that one to take a lead at halftime.
That'll be a foul on Byron Brown as Tyson Degenhart with the strong take. Got knocked out of bounds. And that will be a foul on Brown. And for Byron Brown, that would be his first personal foul.
Yeah, the fans love it because it looks like a block to them, but all over him with the body there. Degenhart's going to go to the line.
Well, Tyson Degenhart, what can you say about this young man? 2-time Mountain West Player of the Week. Coming to this game with 1,887 career points. He now has 1,890 career points. As he has 3 points in the game. There we go.
Yep.
Look at the way we updated.
5th on the list. But I got to think he can beat Tanoka Beard there in #1 before he's done. Few games left in this season. He needed 58 points total coming in. I think he can get that.
You got to make your free throws. Right? It's one of the best ways to be able to make it happen.
Yep.
10-point lead for the Broncos. We're down early, 8-2. And with strong defense, they've been able to go and take this lead. See what Ethan Taylor and the young man could do in whites. Walker, giving it to Byron Brown. Should have been a travel, no call. Cooper, with 5 seconds on the clock, has to do something with it. Looking for some help. Gives it up to Cooper. That'll be a traveling violation.
Yep.
And Ethan Taylor is talking to Byron Brown, and something got lost in translation. for the Falcons. And that is their 4th turnover.
Chase Beasley back in the game now. He's been running the offense real well, and he's the kind of guy that when that shot clock's running down, if the ball's in his hand, he's just going to go to the rack.
I wonder where we'll see Bo Becker. Bo Becker with back-to-back threes to get the game started. Actually, Becker still leads the way with 6 points. He's only played 4 minutes. Neto back in. Oh, what a head fake. Mid-range J on the way. Just a little bit too strong for Chris Lockett.
That's a nice tap out by Chase Beasley, getting that ball to Cooper. Give him another rebound.
Ethan Taylor with only 1 field goal attempt in his game. We talk about your leading scorer. There's going to be a foul on the floor as Chase Beasley goes to the hole. That would be team foul number 3 on Boise State. And with that, we will step aside. Boise State on top of the Falcons by 10. Well, we got Grandma shaking a groove thing on the dance cam, enjoying herself as Boise State's up 24-14. Yeah, there you go.
Somebody's got to get these guys fired up out there.
Well, hopefully it can go and change the shooting percentage right now for Air Force because they are struggling from the floor. 5 of 15. That's good for 33%. If you think about it, out of those 5 field goals that Air Force has made the game so far, 2 of them have been three-pointers by Bo Becker.
Yeah, Bo Becker 2 for 2. Chase Beasley 2 for 3. Everybody else having a rough night except Will Cooper, who hit his single shot that he put up. Falcons got to go to the hole. You can't just stay out here and try and shoot threes all day.
Mills gives to Ethan Taylor. Again, a little bit surprised. Ethan Taylor with only 1 field goal attempt. He has some room. We'll see what he does now. Steps through the trees. Can't get it to go. But the take and the foul as Caleb Walker will go to the line to shoot 2.
That's a good rebound by Caleb Walker. Maybe a little bit of a hesitation in going back up. If he'd gone up a little bit quicker, he probably could have put this one away. I'm shocked that Ethan missed that one, but good job by Caleb Walker to get the rebound there.
4th team foul on Boise State. There'll be 2 shots for Will Cooper. And he misses the first one. Excuse me, that's Caleb Walker. As Caleb Walker was 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Against New Mexico, can't get the kind roll. But Caleb Walker has really been working on that.
He certainly has. Just no fruit in the games yet, but hopefully he'll continue. He'll get better.
On the court for Air Force, Taylor, as well as Walker, Cooper, Chase Beasley, and Jeffrey Mills. Cardinas using the screen. Oh, pushes off a bit, but he uses his grown man size to get an easy 2 in the lane.
You can just see the experience on Cardinas there. Knew exactly what he wanted and knew how to get it.
Leon Rice talked about when he saw his name in the transfer portal, he almost broke his back trying to contact him.
I asked Leon about that. I said, so when you play these other Mountain West teams, are you scouting and saying, I want that guy next year? He said, it's kind of like that nowadays.
Yeah. Jeffrey Mills playing his last game at Clune Arena with a nice shot.
Nice job by Jeffrey getting in the score sheet. Falcons got to calm down here, play some defense, maybe get the Broncos to turn the ball over a little bit. But,
well, what you have to do is also get those rebounds, and the missed 3 by Tyson Dagenhart, and a rebound by Pearson Carmichael.
Carmichael is tearing it up out there today. This kid, this freshman, is pretty good. Watch him just crash the board here. Beats Chase Beasley to the board. And Chase has been doing a great job boxing out, but not that time. You can't fall asleep.
Carmichael misses his first free throw. He's a 71% free throw shooter.
2-time Oregon State Player of the Year in high school.
How about this? He averaged 27 points his senior year.
Yeah, and almost 10 rebounds.
Good gracious. It's just like how you did in high school, right?
Oh, yeah. And it's translating well to the college game so far.
27-16 is our score. 11-point lead for Boise State. And Dagenhart almost had another one, but the foul will be on him.
That's one thing that's kind of overlooked about Tyson Dagenhart. He plays tough defense. He's out here stripping the ball from people. He's already caused an earlier turnover, and that one almost did it again.
Has really quick hands. Yeah, very, very quick hands. We'll have a substitution as Dagenhart will come out, and Coming in for him will be Omar Stanley. Degenhardt taking a seat with 2 fouls, so only 3 points for Degenhardt. So he'll be done for the rest of the half. So a chance for Air Force to be able to climb back in this one, only down by 11. Mills. And a nice drive. It'll be a foul on the floor. That's Caleb Walker. The team foul number 6. The foul will be on Omar Stanley.
Foul's evening out a little bit more now.
Well, how about this for Stanley? That's his 3rd personal foul. So we're starting to go into the end of the bench a little bit for Boise State.
That could bode well for the rest of this game for the Falcons, but once again, you've got to score. 16 points is not cutting it.
Well, Ethan Taylor tries to change that, and he does just that. The senior from Houston, Texas with the triple.
It's the first one to go down. He's 1 of 2 from 3 today, just 1 of 3 from the floor.
Cardinas trying to respond, and he does so. Nice shot by him. Alvarado Cardinas with 3. And Mills, almost had a 3-point party. That was just rolled in and out. 30-19 is our score. Cardinas a little tricky with the ball. Carmichael going up against one of the best defenders for Air Force, Jeffrey Mills. Buchanan. Mid-range J on the way. No good. Good defense by Air Force. Well, the defense is keeping the Falcons in this one. Taylor. Nice move. Step back. Long 2 on the way. Off the front iron. He wanted that shot. 11-point lead for Boise State. Carmichael pushing off a bit. No call. Boise State using a screen and roll. And you see they're just hunting the freshman, trying to get whatever advantage they can. Carmichael to Meadow. Meadow between 2 trees. There'll be a foul. And my goodness, Air Force doesn't like that call at all.
The bench is calling to look at a replay. They thought that Meadow got a charge here. Cardinas, Jeffrey Mills. I thought he was set. The crowd just saw it on the Jumbotron here, and they're going to side with Jeffrey Mills on that one. I think that was a charge.
In the way for Mills, it'll be a foul on him. That'll be his 1st personal foul. Sending Meadow to the free throw line, and we call that justice. The ball don't lie.
There's another look at it. Yeah, I mean, that's just a classic. Jeffrey Mills was totally in position there.
Meadow switches on the second one, and we'll have a whistle. And Leon Rice wants to talk it over. 31-19 is our score. 4:18 remaining in half number 1. Boise State up by 12, their biggest advantage of the evening. As Cardinas knocks home 3. Boise State up by 12 over Air Force, and the Falcons have been playing some really good defense. But what has hurt Air Force are the fast break points, as Boise State has 9, Air Force has none.
Yeah, when Boise State sees an opportunity to run, they're taking advantage of it, and they're making it count at the other end. That's a big difference, 9-0. And for the Falcons, only shooting 35%, 7 of 20 from the field. They're going to have to up that to get back in this basketball game.
Well, it's a mostly senior lineup back for the Falcons, as we'll have a foul. And the fouls are really picking up. What do you think about some of these calls?
Well, it's evening out now. 10 fouls being called against the Falcons. And at one point, the disparity was 7-1. So it's starting to even out a little bit now. And this gives Jeffrey Mills a chance to shoot some free throws. But the Falcons got to make them. You got to make free throws.
Falcons 2 of 7 from the charity stripe. Buchanan with the take. Left-hander, no good. Nice rebound. Kick out to Meadow. Swings around Buchanan. King. You just see Boise State always looking for that open opportunity when they can. Cardinas, oh man, in his bag. The 3 on the way is good. Oh, my goodness. The senior from Granada, Spain, making it rain.
8 points now for Cardinas.
He's a good-looking player. Averages 12 points in contest. 15-point lead for Boise State. Tell you what, the Falcons need something to happen. How about get it to Bo Becker? Just a little bit long on a three.
Falcons only getting one shot on that end. Boise State getting a couple when they shoot the ball.
Oh, Cardinas tries to do it again. And this one off the mark. Nice job by Chase Beasley. Sky high for the rebound.
Making sure the Broncos only got one shot that time.
Taylor thought about the three. Now gets to Bo Becker. He has the advantage. Now kicks it out to Mills, and the Falcons will start their offense again. Becker launches a three. Oh, man, that was halfway down and came right back out.
Tough for Bo Becker. He played early in the game, then was taken out and just got back in about a couple minutes ago, trying to re-catch fire.
Bo Becker going up against Cardinas. Oh, nice pass by Cardinas, and the shot is missed, but the tip-in is good by R.J. Keene, the junior from the Woodlands, Texas.
Once again, not putting bodies on the Broncos. You got to stop those offensive rebounds.
The lead starting to get bigger. It's now a 9-0 run as Air Force hasn't scored a bucket. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, for the last 4 field goal tries. Falcons need a bucket here. Taylor can't change that. Missing the three. And Cardinas will walk the ball up court. Under 2 minutes to go in half number 1. Boise State shooting 41%. That'll be a foul, and that'll be against Jeffrey Mills, and Mills can't believe it. And for Mills, that would be his second personal foul. So you look at the foul situation for Air Force. Mills with 2, and Will Cooper also with 2. And one of the fans in the stands not too happy with the refs. Probably caught that over our
more than
mics.
one.
Right. Buchanan goes to the free throw line. And David Buchanan makes the first one. The young man, an 80% free throw shooter.
And Boise State is a team, a very good free throw shooting team. It's just, that's what separates these teams that go to the tournament, Yep. They do everything well.
Luke Kearney checks back into the game. And the second one is good. Now it's a 38-19 score. 12-0 run by Boise State. Well, where do you go here on offense? And you try to get it to Ethan Taylor, almost too long. Was able to save it and almost had a turnover. Taylor has it back with 15 on the clock. Drives, gets Key. Stops, gives it to Kearney. He'll shoot the three. That's off the mark. Was online, just not able to go in.
Is that old saying couldn't throw it in the ocean?
Well, they're not doing so right now.
Falcons having a really hard time.
How about this? 3 of 13 rather from deep.
Missed their last 6, haven't scored in 4.5 minutes.
Boise State taking their time. Buchanan between the trees. Couldn't get the lay in the go. Try to get that past Silahusky. Chase Beasley in transition. Taylor with a nice take. Oh, beautiful pass to Wesley Silahusky. I can see more of that from Ethan Taylor. The Taylor Silahusky show.
Good offense. Great unselfish play there by Ethan Taylor.
That stops a 12-0 run by Boise State. Well, if you get a stop here, let's see you get another bucket. You can go into halftime, at least with some momentum. Cardinas for 3. That's off the front iron, and it's tracked down by Chase Beasley. So you got one part of the equation done. Let's see if the Falcons can go and get a bucket. Air Force having a tough go at it. Have just made 1 field goal in their last 7 tries. Ethan Taylor directing the offense. Gets the ball back. Thought about the 3. Gives it to Kearney. He'll launch the 3. A rainbow variety. No good. Rebound by Keene. And it goes out of bounds with 0.2 seconds remaining. And we'll have a substitution as Byron Brown will come in. And he'll come in for Luke Kearney. The ball will be touched by Cardinas, and that will be the end of half number 1, and a very successful half for the Boise State Broncos. Led by the 11 points from Andrew Meadow, they're up 38-21 over the Air Force Falcons. Halftime report coming up next on Out Sports. Boise State leads the Air Force Falcons 38-21 at halftime. And just a couple of moments ago, Brian German had a chance to speak with the head coach of the men's basketball team, Joe Scott.
Joe, really tough time shooting the basketball tonight. What's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had struggled all year long, Brian, making shots. I mean, so, you know, what I'm glad about is I think we only had 5 turnovers, which means we're getting shots. We did have a couple in a row that sort of came at a bad time. That's usually what happens. They come in clumps for us. But overall, we didn't turn it over. We got good looks. We got good shots. You know, it didn't matter if it was a layup, a couple missed fouls, and we had missed some wide open shots. So if we had, you know, shot the ball better, you know, obviously would have kept them from scoring as much, and then it would be a much closer game.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
All right, that is head coach Joe Scott. Well, this is the final game at Clune Arena for 5 seniors, and I had a chance to speak about their time at the Air Force Academy.
The last 4 years playing Air Force basketball has meant a lot. I made friendships along the way that will last forever. I've seen what it's been like to be coached by the best, and I'm just really thankful for the experiences that I've had these 4 years.
Last 4 years here has been a ride like no other. You know, I've made some really great friends, got to play some really fun, amazing basketball with some of the closest people to me. I got to play in front of a lot of enthusiastic and crazy fans, so, you know, I've enjoyed it the last 4 years.
This past 4 years, playing basketball has meant a lot to me. You know, I went to the prep school with all the rest of the seniors on the team, not really knowing what was going on, but they really helped me get through at the prep school. And then coming up here, being able to stick it out with them, just play with them, stay with them, it just means a lot, and it's helped me develop as a person. And I feel like I've become a better person because of that.
The last 4 years playing basketball here has really taught me a lesson about how to be a man, how to grow up, how to be mature. I had a lot of good memories with my teammates. Been with them since the prep school, most of them. I'm really happy to have played all 4 years here. It's been a pleasure.
Air Force basketball the last 4 years has really meant a lot to me. It's been an amazing experience. It taught me about leadership, maturity, just going through with my 5 seniors, you know, me, Byron, Jeff, Ethan, and Bo. You know, we've been through the fire together. Those are my brothers for life, and I'm so thankful for them. And it's been amazing just going through this journey with them.
Well, it's so great to be able to hear from the seniors. And as you know, it's senior night, and it's great to see them come out with their families and be honored in front of the home faithful.
Yeah, it certainly is great. All 5 of these kids played at the prep school, and there you see 4 of the 5 going to the Space Force. Amazingly enough, Justin, all 4 of them will be stationed at Peterson Air Force Base, just south of Colorado Springs. That's real close to here. And then Bo Becker is going to be in Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida. I'm not going to make I think I'd rather be in Boise.
That's right.
It's going to be an air battle manager, but just great job. It's been fun to watch these guys play the last 4 years.
I'll tell you what, these guys want to leave on a high note. They got some work to do as they're down by 17. Boise State up by 17 over the Air Force Falcons as we continue on our halftime show. Justin Adams and Brian German. And Brian, it has been a tough shooting first half for the Air Force Falcons. Shooting just 31%, have only made 8 field goals in the first half.
Yeah, very tough. And you think about this, they've made 8 field goals. If they make 4 more of those, and half of them are threes, this is a 7-point game, not 17. The Falcons got to find a way to make shots, and I don't think it's because the Broncos are playing that good a defense. No slight to the Broncos, but the Falcons just are missing open shots.
Well, they were able to hit some shots early on in the first half, and Bo Becker came out fireman, the senior, with back-to-back threes. Opened up the scoring for Air Force. They led 8-2 at one point.
Hit his first 2 shots. He did a great job as all 5 seniors got to start here on senior night. But then from that point on, Boise State came back into this game. Meadow inside. He had some nice moves, some good plays. Got this game basically tied, and then really the turning point in this game is when Air Force started to turn the ball over. They only had 5, but they came in bunches. Tyson Dagenhart with the steal here. He beat Sella Husky to the rack, and then another turnover, and that's when they just started scoring in waves as Will Cooper, tough choice there, trying to save that ball. Nice steal here by Carmichael, and he has been just putting it in for Boise State. The freshman out of Bend, Oregon, doing a great job. that's where we stand right now. The Broncos making a case here and saying, hey, NCAA people, look at us. Yep. We want in the dance too.
That team squarely on the bubble right now. You talk about Pierce and Carmichael, 8 points and also 4 rebounds in just 10 minutes of work. As you take a look at the halftime stats, and you see both teams struggling from the three-point line. Turnovers not really an issue, but man, +8 on rebounds for Boise State. That's pretty good for them.
Oh, it certainly is. And you're right. Air Force only turned the ball over 5 times, but the points off of turnovers, 6 points.
Yep.
So if you're going to give them a point every time you turn the ball over, you got to think about that. Man, the Falcons, you love that number as a coach. Looking at it, it says 5, but then when you saw it come in bunches, and that's exactly when Boise State took control of this basketball game, the Falcons got to do something if they want to get back into this one.
All right, well, let's see what do they have to do. What is that something that they need to do in order to climb back in this game?
Make shots. Which is easier said than done for these guys this year. I just think be calm, settle down, make it all right here because you're at your home court. You should be able to shoot the ball better than you're shooting right now. Calm down, relax, and when you're open, make that basket.
How about on the opposite side for Boise State? You're up by 17. What do they need to do to take this home?
I think keep the pressure on. I think Leon Rice is probably telling his troops inside, hey, guys, we got to keep this up. He probably wants to double this scoring margin just to make the NCAA people say, yeah, I think the Broncos belong in the tournament again.
Is there any way we can get some help from the Falcon? Can we get some help from the Bird? Bird, come here, Bird. Bird, maybe the Bird is what's needed in order for Air Force to get. Bird, can you help us in the second half? He says he can. We'll see if that's going to work out as we get ready for half number 2. Air Force looking to climb back in this one on Senior Nights. Air Force basketball on altitude is brought to you by Intermountain Health, helping people live the healthiest lives possible. Great to see the cheerleaders here at the Air Force Academy. They're hoping to cheer on the Falcons to their 5th win of the year. Got some work to do, though, as Air Force is down by 17, just shooting 31%, 8 of 26 from the floor. We talked about what they need to do in the second half. Yeah, it's pretty simple. You got to make those shots, but also continue the defensive pressure that you have in your own right.
Absolutely, and the Falcons did this. They were down 10 in the first half at Boise, came back, had a 1-point lead at halftime. So they're capable. They've got the players that can do this. They just have to do it. Now, you're down 17. That is a big margin, but you got to go at it slowly. Get 3 points here, then a little 4 points there. Knock this thing down. If you get this thing inside of 10 with 10 minutes left in the game, then I think you got a shot. But the Falcons got to start right here with a stop against the Broncos.
And the first 4 minutes are very important in this ball game. As you know, Boise State, they want to go and up this lead, get it to 20 as quickly as possible. Cardinas, closer to the painted area. We foul. That'll be on Jeffrey Mills. And kind of reminiscent of the first half, as that's the 3rd personal foul on Mills.
Yeah, that Boise State can just pound it inside, and they knew that coming in. Here's Jeffrey Mills, one of the leaders on the team. Let's get him his 3rd. Make Joe Scott have to decide whether to get him out of the game or not. So far, he stays in.
Again, all senior lineup in for the Air Force Falcons. They started off this way. They started off well. They got up to a 8-2 start. Well, that's a good way to start for the Falcons in the second half.
Sure. Forced Boise State into their 3rd turnover of the game. That's remarkable. Both teams really playing, decent turnover-wise.
So it's fast break points, and it's also put the ball in the basket. That's what Air Force has to do. Bo Becker with 6 points. Hit the first 2 shots for Air Force. Ethan Taylor, the senior, knocked away by Buchanan with 5 seconds on the clock.
Yes, Falcons again in another tough position here with just a few seconds left on the shot clock, and they got to run the inbounds play. Hey, that'll do it.
Yeah, going to miss number 11. Why don't you? Nice dunk by Byron Brown.
Broncos really fell asleep on that one. He was all alone.
Carmichael. Tell you what, just play the seniors as long as you can, right? Well, Degenhart says, I'll take that. Can't get the one to go. But Buchanan right there for the putback.
Have to see if Bo Becker can get going here in the second half, as long as he stays in there.
All about within the flow of the offense, too. Trying to force up threes. But Bo Becker's a guy who can stretch the offense. He does get open.
Meadows all over him like white on rice inside there, though.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Beasley with it. He gets to Byron Brown, just dunked it a couple of moments ago. Now he'll stop, spin around. Unfortunately, you can't slide on the ground. And anytime you do that, that's a traveling violation.
I like the aggression, but just go on up with that, Byron.
Yep.
Just go on up.
Take it strong with the left hand.
Both of his parents served our country. Thank you for your service. They're both here, but nice to see him following in their footsteps in that regard.
What do you think it means for these young men to be able to do that, to follow their parents in their footsteps?
Oh, I think it's an amazing thing for him. Carmichael comes inside, and that's and one. This kid is good.
Isn't he? Omar Stanley with a nice little push on Carmichael. Pearson Carmichael, 6'7".
Back to what you were saying, you know, a lot of these academy cadets here, not just the athletes, they come here because their parents did. In case in point, Caleb Walker just came back in. Walker's dad was an outstanding linebacker for the Falcon football team back in the day. And they impart that to their kids, and they say, this is the amazing thing that happened to me because I went to the Air Force Academy. And sometimes the kids say, yeah, I want that. I want that opportunity to have friends like that, lifelong friends like that, because that's what it's about. You heard some of those seniors at halftime talking about these guys. Chase Beasley, I think it was, said, these guys are going to be my brothers for the rest of my life. That's what it's about here at any service academy.
Foul, by the way, on Buchanan. But, yeah, that's what it's really about. It's about that brotherhood that is built up. And we know this hasn't been the season that Air Force wanted. Very tough year. But they have had plenty of battles this season that they will remember for a lifetime. Mills for three. And that's no good. It'll be a foul. Right on the basket, away from the ball. Is that on Degenhardt? If that's on Degenhardt, that'll be his third.
I think they called it on Cardinas, actually.
For Cardinas, that will be his second personal foul.
Nate Harris said, no, we're staying here.
Yep.
I think what Joe Scott wants to see is his team continue to protect the ball, run the offense. It's really all you can ask, and continue to shoot the ball and hopefully remember how to make it go in.
Nathan Taylor says, wow. I remember how it goes in. It's just like you draw it up, right? Go right around the bucket, touch the backboard, and slips right in.
And for a shooter, that'll give him confidence now.
I'd like to see Ethan Taylor just fill it up, won't you?
It would be nice on senior day.
17-point game. Carmichael. I like the way the young man plays. Oh, what a pass. And a turnover right into the hands of Caleb Walker. Air Force can run if they want to. Beasley with the take, the hood shot, and that's good. A nice little 5-0 run by the Falcons. Neto on the front court, and man, just how fast Boise State gets up court. I like the way that Neto plays this game, as you see. Mr. Beasley with the 70s hook shot.
Nice play for Chase. 6 points, 8 rebounds for Chase now. He's on his way to a possible double-double.
Talk about a young man who's been inserted into the lineup late in the season. He's only been playing the last 4 games. That's Degenhardt. You talk about somebody getting lost. He got lost in the inbound play. Nice lay-in for him. Stops a 5-0 run by the Falcons. 17-point lead for Boise State. Walker in for Bo Becker as Mills with the spin and couldn't get that one to fall. They're getting good shots. They're just not going in.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Jeff Mills.
Shooting 37%. Cardinas. Oh, what a pass to Degenhardt with the easy lay-in. Man, that's easy as rice. Another 2 points and a 19-point advantage for Boise State.
Yeah, Leon Rice, I think, told his team, let's get Tyson involved in this game. He's up to 7 points now.
Well, how about you get Ethan Taylor into this game? Couldn't hit the 3, though. And quickly up court, here's Boise State. Meadow with an acrobatic lay-in. Couldn't get that one to go, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
It's another foul, and they are so quick in transition. They're so good at moving the basketball.
And it doesn't matter if it's a made basket, a missed basket. There's always one guy in blue that is streaking up court, and it leads to fast break opportunities.
Yeah, it's a tough foul call there on Beasley. Middle of the line, and when they get to the line, they make free throws. Tonight, 11 of 14, 12 of 15.
Well, there's a reason for that. They come into this game shooting 77% as a team. That's second best in the Mountain West. And you talk about this team when it gets to tournament time, not just the Mountain West tournament. Let's say they get to the NCAA tournament, which is where they're trending to go. You got some close games that comes down to the charity stripe. You got to feel real confident if you're Boise State.
Oh, absolutely. I think Leon Rice feels that way. Again, another thing you said pregame was talking about how the chemistry really changes year to year. Beasley misses that one. No foul called. The chemistry really changes year to year. Cardinas comes into this team this year, playing with him for the first time this season. Now they're all gelled together well, but it took them quite a few games to get ready.
Well, Cardinas, he is hot as ever. By the way, came into this game with 199 assists. Nice pass to Keene, and he gets it to go. R.J. Keene, the redshirt junior from the Woodlands, Texas, gets the shot and one. He'll go to the line to shoot the and one as Boise State now leads by a bunch. 51-28, 15:31 to go. Boise State leads by 23, and one of the main reasons why they are outscoring Air Force in the paint by 12. They have 5 more second chance points, and we come back to this earlier in the game. 11 fast break points. Falcons with 0.
Yeah, the Falcons, it's all those little things, right? You look at that and you go, oh, okay, so now we got to stop this, and this. But it's really the little things for the Falcons. And if they were making shots, we could harp on these things a little bit more. But man, it just seems to steamroll. It's like that big rock rolling down a hill. And right now the Falcons are trying to just stop it.
Another good free throw shooter for Boise State is Keene as he knocks home that one. And it's now a 9-0 run for Boise State. This is what you want if you are Boise State. You want to go and get off to a good start in the second half. We outscored Air Force 13-7 so far.
And you know Leon Rice is loving what he sees. And you know he's going to say, keep it up.
Byron Brown with a nice take. Oh, I like the little jelly. What a reverse lay-in.
Nice play there by Byron Brown. Just a beautiful drive here, and watch the acrobatics as he shielded the basketball. Got a nice layup, a hoop, and some arm. It's a good way to start.
Yeah. A little bit of MJ. Brown can't complete the and one, though. Air Force struggling from the free throw line. Falcons 2 of 8. Oh, Cardinas for 3. Nothing but net. Well, you can't leave that young man open. He now has 11, his 3rd triple of the evening. And Cardinas, what a player he is. Not only does he have 11 points, also 4 assists. Mills to Chase Beasley. Beasley being guarded by Meadow, and that's stolen away by Omar Stanley. And Stanley will give it up. In the corner, Meadow, with a nice move. There'll be a foul on the floor as Chase Beasley slipped on the baseline.
He slipped and his foot was still stuck up in the air, and that's what Meadow tripped over.
By the way, 12-2 run for Boise State as we have a substitution, and it looks like. Let's see what we'll have. As Yoda Ake comes in. And Chase Beasley will come out.
You can hear his family with some claps in the background.
Ake playing for the first time this evening. A little bit surprised we haven't seen a lot of Colin Marshall either. Buchanan up against Ethan Taylor, steps through. Good job defensively from the senior.
Nice strong rebound on the box out by Walker.
Air Force down by 25. Ethan Taylor, nice head fake, step back. Okay, just came in. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Nice take from the freshman, the floater. No, good. Miss absolutely everything. Here comes Boise State once again in transition. Buchanan. Cardinas. Oh, what a pass. And the lay-in is at an and one.
I think the whistle happened before the shot, actually. We're going to talk about it down there.
And it is an and one. Holy cow. The assist of the year. What a pass.
Yep, they'll give him continuation on that.
Oh, man. Just a bullet pass to Omar Stanley.
Crystal Hogan and Steve McJunkins got together and said, what do you see? That's what I saw too. Count the basket.
Yeah, they said we saw one of the best passes we've seen all season, so we're not going to mess that highlight up. As Will Cooper comes back in, and Jeffrey Mills will go out. Stanley to the free throw line. He's a 67% free throw shooter and makes that. Well, the difference in this game from the free throw line, Boise State 15 of 18 for the free throw line, and also a steal, and it'll be a foul on Byron Brown. My goodness, Alvarado Cardinas is everywhere on the floor.
He just knew that the Falcons were in trouble, and he just watched Ethan Taylor and said, you know what, he's going to try and get that to Brown. And from the ground, he's excited about that one.
15-2 run.
That's the difference between a guy who played for San Jose State and, you know, a little bit less successful team over the last few years. And here he is on a basketball team that has a chance to play. And you know that young man wants to play in the big dance.
But let's call it what it is. San Jose State was not a good team last year. But now you go to a team like Boise State, and you're the missing piece for this team. And now you just see just how good this team can be. And, you know, talking with, you know, the head coach, Leon Rice, he said that Cardinas reminds him of John Stockton, just the old school guard. He's a guy that does whatever it takes to win. And he's doing it from the free throw line, from behind the three-point line, getting steals, rebounds, whatever you need. This young man is doing it this evening.
Cardinas, something special to watch. You can tell he just has a fire inside of him because he's finally on a team that's really doing some things.
Double team in the painted area. Walker gives it to Cooper. Freshman on freshman action. Three-point shot on the way. No good. Missed by Cooper. And guess who? Number 11. Taking it up court. Always looking to pass. Does so. Buchanan launches a triple. No good. Rebound by Ethan Taylor. So Taylor with 6 points and now 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Taylor thought about the 3. As it swings around. Brown. With the take between 2 trees, and he'll get the foul call, and now be on Meadow.
You know, at least Byron Brown is like trying to do something, trying to get the ball to the basket. I like the play.
You see Byron Brown. Nice job by him, and Byron Brown, one of the 5 seniors that plays his final game at Clune Arena. And, you know, Byron Brown, it's been a little bit of a tough season for him, but defensively, that's one thing that hasn't changed. He's been very strong from there.
Absolutely. It all starts on defense for Byron Brown. And he is one heck of an athlete. You just look at him and it just screams athlete at you. He's just a specimen as far as...
Well, last year he was awarded the Cliff Parsons Award for a member of the Falcon basketball team that gives his best every day in every way. As he makes the second free throw.
Absolutely. You go back. It's his parents, right?
Yep.
They taught him that. And he's carrying on that legacy here. There's just one thing you'll see, Justin. These guys are not going to give up.
No, not at all.
You look at the scoreboard and you go, wow. Most teams, most people playing in the basketball game are like, I just want to go home. The Falcons are not going to be that team. As Ethan Taylor almost pokes that ball away.
For Boise State, trying to keep things going. Nice pass to Degenhardt. How did that one find its way through? What a pass by Alvarado Cardinas to Tyson Degenhardt. Cardinas now with 6 assists.
Yep, he's over 200, 205 now on the season.
And a young man special. Taylor for 3. That's good. Ethan Taylor, his 9th point. 3rd three-pointer of the evening.
It's the first Falcon to get close to double figures.
Yeah, Taylor with 9. It's been tough sledding from there. Chase Beasley has 6. Bo Becker has 6. Bo Becker made those first 2 3-pointers early in this game. Cardinas looking to respond back. Missed absolutely everything. Or maybe that was just another pass to Degenhardt.
That was a pass.
That's what it was. Just a rainbow pass, right?
Yeah, Degenhardt now in double figures with 11.
You have guys like Tyson Degenhardt. You look at this team, we've seen some really good teams this year. New Mexico's one of them. There's a nice fadeaway Jay. Oh, my goodness. Will Cooper with a beautiful shot.
Yeah, some of the Falcons starting to look for their own shots now, and that's good. Get comfortable, like I said out there. Will Cooper certainly looked comfortable there. Taylor comfortable in the last three.
Well, remember about this team about midway in non-conference play. Joe Scott way back as Cardinas shoots the three, misses it. And he wanted this team to really go to an up-tempo offense. And it worked for a couple of games. May not have worked on the score sheet, or rather on the wins and losses, but the team was more fluid, got up and down the court a lot more. It looked like it regressed, and that should have been a foul, no call. And here comes Boise State. 4-on-3. Buchanan with the take, and they'll pass it out, but he'll go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Boise State leading 64-36, well on their way to win number 22 of the year. Boise State with an offensive explosion in the second half leads 64-36. Justin Adams and Brian German with me. And in the second half, Boise State is shooting 64%. And it's been all about the connection from Cardinas to Tyson Degenhardt.
Absolutely. And, you know, they were down on the score sheet at halftime. And it's almost like Leon Rice said, okay, let's get our star players back into this game and let's let them score a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some more of the reserves get some more playing time here. Yeah. As Cardinas has been pulled, Degenhardt's still in the game.
Degenhardt in the ball game with 11 points, 2 rebounds. And at the free throw line is Buchanan shooting a 1-and-1. And he rattles home the first one. Again, Boise State, a team really solid for the free throw line, 77%. When you start thinking about this team in the Mountain West tournament, they got some tough competition. Obviously, Colorado State. You have San Diego State. But when you look at that, who are some teams that you say would be the favorites as you go into the Mountain West tournament?
Well, obviously, it's the New Mexico Lobos. You got to talk about them. But that's a team that this Boise State team defeated, and on the road got beat pretty badly. So when it comes down to those games where you're not playing in somebody else's building, that's when you find out who the better team is. I still think it's New Mexico. CSU is really coming on right now.
Yeah, they are.
So, you know, it's really, I could see one of any 5 teams actually winning this conference tournament. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Foul Lockett Jr., that's his first personal foul. Team 5th on Boise State. Silahusky gives it to Ethan Taylor with 9 points. Taylor, the senior, going to work. Gives it out to Silahusky. He'll shoot his 3rd three-pointer of the day, and that's no good. And it's rebounded by Boise State. King in transition. Lockett to Degenhardt. Oh, Degenhardt, I think he traveled a bit. No call. Lockett Jr. with the take. Nice passing as Tyson Degenhardt couldn't get the kind of roll. Rebound by Ethan Taylor. Always getting the offense started in the painted area to Silahusky. The Air Force in this ballgame shooting 36%, almost stolen away, and it is another steal by Boise State. Going down to the ground is Omar Stanley, who's slow to get up. In transition for 3 in the corner. That's good. Triple by Pearson Carmichael. Boy, you better keep an eye on this freshman. He's going to do damage in the Mountain West for years.
Leading the Broncos with 14 now.
69-36 our score. Taylor looking to respond. Missed the three-pointer. As Boise State will slow things down. Stanley for 3. No good. Okay with the rebound. Well, some of the other guys on the end of the bench for Air Force are going to come into this game. Mills will come back, as well as Bo Becker will come in as well. And we're about to see Sam Duskin on the next whistle. Haven't seen a lot of Luke Kearney in this ball game. Need the Kyle Marshall. 5 seconds on the clock, and Taylor has it with 2 seconds. 1 second, got to force it up, and it goes off the front iron. Not a good possession by Air Force. Falcons have been struggling to score, haven't scored a point in the last 2:20. You just see Boise State, one of the best teams in the Mountain West on the road. Oh, man. Carmichael way outside. Trying to knock that one home from Pueblo.
Good rebound. Good box out for the Falcons.
And taking a timeout will be Ethan Taylor and the Air Force Falcons. And the Falcons will have 2 more timeouts remaining. Air Force, without a point in the last 3 minutes and 5 seconds, looking to regroup with 8:19 to go. Well, Boise State has held Air Force under 60 points in the last 6 games. But right now, they're holding Air Force under 40. 69-36 is our score. And what have Boise State done defensively to make it so tough for Air Force to be able to score?
I think everywhere Air Force turns with the basketball, Boise State is in their face.
Yep.
What's hurting the Falcons is the open shots they're not making. But Boise State has put some great pressure on defensively. And I just see them. This team is a team on a mission. And I think that mission is everybody keeps saying we haven't won in the NCAA tournament. Let's get in the tournament. Let's prove to people that we can win. Right now, some brackets have them as one of the first 4 teams in. Some say first 4 teams out. But if you get in, they can get into one of those play-in games and then make some noise. They were in a play-in game last year. It was a close one. They lost that one as well. But I know Tyson Degenhardt and especially Cardinas want this opportunity.
Well, specifically for this game, Leon Rice said, look, we have to be physical. We have to be in the fight. We have to use our physicality to win this game. And early on, right before the first media timeout, which is the first 4 minutes of the game, Air Force was really taking it to Boise State. Looked like the Broncos didn't come out with that physicality. Once that timeout hit, everything switched on a dime. And since then, it's been all Broncos.
It certainly has. And the Falcons didn't score enough points early on.
Jeffrey Mills with the take.
Nice take.
Couldn't get that one to fall as Cardinas would pick up the foul. Lead some more of that if you're Air Force.
So another look at it. Nice spin move there by Jeffrey. Gets fouled by Cardinas on the backside.
Well, Jeffrey Mills, one of the 5 seniors playing his final game at Clune Arena. And you know, one thing that I really like about Mills is he misses the first one. Way short. Again, you have a couple of 3-and-D guys, and he's one of the best, the co-captain for this team. Air Force struggling from the free throw line today. Finally able to knock one home. Now 4 of 12.
And the turnovers are up to 10 now. That's 5 per half for Air Force. Really not a horrible number, but when you do it against a team like Boise State, they're going to make you pay. 16 points off those turnovers.
Especially guys like Buchanan. Shoots to Meadow. Meadow with the goggles. Oh, blocked away. Nice step block by Cooper. And it will be a foul. So Will Cooper initially with the block. And then there's a foul, and going to the line to shoot 2 will be Boise State when we return as the Broncos lead by 32. Well, Boise State's one of the best free throw shooting teams in the conference, and today showing off yet again, 19 of 22 from the charity stripe. And you know what? They have made the most free throws in the conference. Anytime you're able to go and execute at the free throw line, the charity stripe, good things happen. Take a look.
Yeah, there's 2 things with this, Justin. One, they make the free throws, but 2, they get to the line, right? You got to shoot a lot of free throws to make a lot of free throws. 16.8 free throws made per game. That's amazing, but that's because they're aggressive on offense and they get that ball into the paint. They force you to either let them score or foul them.
Well, so far, Boise State outscoring Air Force by 16 in the second half. Went to the break up 17. Large lead for Boise State, a team looking to get to the NCAA tournament for the 4th consecutive year. Was in the game for the first time this evening is Sam Duskin. Duskin almost had the ball poked away from him. 6 seconds on the clock. The drive by Cooper. Nice take. Can't get the kind roll.
I expected him to come back on that side of the basket and just miss it.
A little more experience for the young man. Getting plenty of it right now. Omar Stanley goes between his legs. Nice job defensively as Mills comes down. Swings it around. And Meadow, no good. Rebound fought for, and we'll have a tie-up. Possession arrow will go with the Falcons.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Notice how Boise just pounds that ball inside. Meadows inside there. Falcons lucky to not get called for a foul and send them back to the free throw line there. Falcons, over 10 fouls here in the second half. I really think Joe Scott wants to see his team execute. He's got 5 guys out there now. He wants to see them run the offense. Duskin just getting his feet wet in this game. Bo Becker back in there.
Duskin giving it to another freshman. Gives it to a senior in Becker. Okay. 12 seconds on the clock. Bo Becker going to work. Looking to pass, and I tell you what, some miscommunication leads to a turnover. Here comes Stanley. The Euro step. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Went down to the floor pretty hard. Good to see the young man doing all right. The senior from Overland Park, Kansas.
Another foul on Will Cooper. That's going to be his 4th. Here, take a look at it. There it is.
Yep.
Will Cooper not afraid to mix it up, though. He's one of the more tougher physical guys, and I think, moving forward, Joe Scott's going to want guys that have that physical play. You've seen it. They got worn down by Boise State today. So if Joe Scott can get some guys that can take some of that wear, take some of that punishment, dish some of that punishment back out, that's going to, stop things like this from happening in the future.
As Omar Stanley makes the first free throw, Ethan Taylor comes back in. Senior in for his final 6:27 at Clune Arena. What do you think about Ethan Taylor, what he has meant, for this program? The most starts in program history. What can you say about that young man?
You can say everything about him. What a leader this young man has become. And he nice move here by Will Cooper to get it inside. Back to Ethan Taylor. What a leader for this team. He never gave up on this team. And let's take another look at this. Cooper inside. Nice strong move. Like I said, he can dish out a little bit as well. And he puts it home. And Ethan Taylor, in a day and age when people are leaving the academies to go chase whatever dream they want, Ethan Taylor stayed here. He had the same opportunity as other people after sophomore year to leave, to give up on things. He didn't give up on things. And yeah, this isn't the way that you wanted your senior year to turn out. But I'll tell you what, Ethan Taylor is going to be a remarkable officer for the Air Force going ahead.
That's really what it's about. It's about being a guy who understands that there's more to just this. It's Lockett Jr. with a nice take. He'll go to the line to shoot the and one. But as you talk about that with Ethan Taylor, it's just understanding the future after the game. It's a push.
Absolutely, and that's what Joe Scott and his coaches have to sell, the future after the game.
Yep.
It's so tough, though, when you're young because everybody thinks they're going to go to the NBA. And, they think they got a shot to be a player and make a name for themselves in the world. And you kind of have to talk kids into, look, you can make a name for yourself playing basketball. Do it here, and you definitely have a great job after you graduate. All 5 of these young men, you saw where they're going. They're going to have a great job. They're going to be second lieutenants in the Air Force.
Speaking of Taylor, knocks home the 3.
In Space Force.
Ethan Taylor for 3. Yeah, he'll be working at Space Force, and he'll be knocking on trays from space as well. Ethan Taylor with 12 points. Lockett Jr. Oh, man, what a take.
Nice move.
Ooh-wee.
That's an instance of a player who's wanted to get into the game. Now he's in the game, so I'm going to show you what I can do. Watch me, coach.
Lockett Jr. It's wave after wave with Boise State that they have on the floor.
Becker was looking for a shot. Now he'll take Degenhardt inside.
And Becker with the fadeaway J, no good. And the rebound. As Omar Stanley in the corner for 3. Way off the mark. And that one goes out of bounds. It will stay with Boise State.
Becker tried to tip that back to Ethan Taylor, and some miscommunication there. I wasn't sure Taylor was ready for that.
Yep. By the way, that was Julian Bowie who comes to the game. Bowie, rather. As Tyson Degenhardt, his evening will be done. 11 points, 2 rebounds. I tell you what, if you talk to Joe Scott and said, hey, you're going to have a game where Tyson Degenhardt only scores 11 points and have 2 rebounds, you would think that you will be much more to this ball game.
Yeah, you would think.
Not so.
You would think. But I think that bodes well for Leon Rice and Boise State moving forward. People can't just focus on Dagenhart.
Exactly.
People can't just focus on Cardinas. Now they got to think about Carmichael. They got to think about some of these other guys.
And also Stanley, who knocks home the first one. By the way, the foul was on Mills. That's his 4th personal foul. Coming down the stretch, 77-43. One more for Omar Stanley, as he'll knock home the second one. By the way, we got an update from the pit. Women's basketball team is in action as we speak. So far, New Mexico up 75-74 with 11.6 seconds remaining.
Nice move inside. Falcons have the ball out there in the pit as well.
Sure, and the 3-point shot is good.
Gets a little love from his brother on the sideline as he makes that one.
And he's all smiles as well, as Taylor now has 15. But good to see Ethan Taylor step in and knock home the triple.
His brother and the fans over there giving Ethan a little bit of love. That was a great shot there by Ethan. Great to see him. And back up to 15 points. And here comes Jeff Mills, Chase Beasley coming out of the game, giving the fans a chance to applaud their last time on the court at Clune Arena. And here comes Ethan Taylor
as he makes it. And he now has 16 points, and that will be it for Ethan Taylor. One of the more successful Air Force Falcons. The most starts in program history. Boise State, Stanley still in the ball game. Cross it over. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Caleb Walker got caught off right there. And now we'll see these younger Falcons. They're going to have lots of time to play here. They're going to have after the last timeout, and they'll be able to do it here.
A.J. Patterson in the ball game as well. Also really good to see Sam Springer back in the game. Haven't seen Sam Springer in a little bit. But you're literally looking at the future of Air Force basketball on the court right now.
Absolutely. Joe says, you know what? Final 4 minutes, 20 seconds here at Clune Arena this year. Let's see what these young guys can do as Walker grabs a rebound.
What do you want to see if you're Joe Scott? What would you like to see?
Execution and no turnovers. Run the offense. Show me that you know the offense. Show me you've been doing it in practice. That was a nice play right there as Patterson finds Walker.
Caleb Walker, as that will be the 8th team foul on Boise State. By the way,
Anderson into the game.
Yeah, Dylan Anderson, number 44, 7 feet tall, redshirt sophomore from Chandler, Arizona. Young man hasn't scored in the last 5 games. He'll have 4 minutes and 8 seconds to change that. That's a nice job by Caleb Walker. Smooth stroke at the free throw line.
That was good. That's what he's capable of. He's gotten into his head a little bit too much this year from the free throw line. Just take his time.
Well, you had a couple of conversations with him about that. What were some things he's revealed to you about that? As he knocks down both.
That he's in his head too much.
Yeah.
He can shoot. You saw that. He just made 2 for 2. He can do that every time if he wants to. He just has to calm down and remember, you know, because free throw shooting is all muscle memory.
Bowie with the miss. Nice rebound. Okay. A lot of youngsters on the floor. And when you look at Air Force for next season, there'll be groups like this getting the experience. The ball goes out of bounds. And with that, we will step aside. Down the stretch, Boise State on top, 78-49. 78-49 is our score. 3:41 remaining in this ball game coming down the stretch. Again, last game for 5 seniors at Clune Arena. Ethan Taylor will end his time at Air Force with 16 points. 5 of 10 from downtown, and his last bucket was a 3-pointer, and it was an and 1. So good for him. Good for Ethan Taylor to go out that way as Lockett Jr. lines up for 3, misses the triple.
So the younger guys get a chance here. Sorry, Justin. Get a chance here to play, and I'm sure Joe Scott told him exactly what he wants to see from him here in the last 3.5 minutes of action.
Falcons will wrap up the regular season slate as they will take on Utah State, and they're also emptying their bench as well. 2 seconds on the clock. One, launching the three. No good. Miss by Sam Duskin.
Boise State has their reserves in there, but this guy's still in there, Carmichael.
They got the 7-footer in too, but yeah, Carmichael, a really good-looking kid. So is Keene as well. Bowie. And giving it to Lockett. That'll be an offensive foul. So foul on Anderson. That's his first.
Leon Rice still working the officials over there.
Yep. Well, I mean, you still got some time. 2:37 to go, right? Plenty to work.
Sure, Justin.
By the way, coming in for the first time in this one, Josh Gatete is in. Number 0. Really good-looking kid, 6'9" sophomore. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Patterson at the free throw line looking for some help. Gives it up, launching the three, and that's good. Well, there you go. Sam Springer, the freshman from Cleveland, Ohio, with the triple.
That was good offense, moving around. I like Patterson in there.
The Air Force, by the way, on a 9-0 run. Under 2 minutes to go. As Boise State will end this 2-game road trip with a W. And they did exactly what they were supposed to do today. They knew that this is one of those games that you can't take lightly as Lockett Jr. knocks home the mid-range J.
And I don't think they did. If they took the Falcons lightly, it was just for the first 4 minutes of this basketball game. Because since that point, the Broncos have really owned it.
Okay, with the drive into the corner, and it's stolen away, and Carmichael throws it to the front row. And one of the assistant coaches, by the way, was standing there and was able to get himself out the way.
Interesting by Carmichael. Again, throw it towards your own basket.
That's right.
He didn't even get that back in bounds.
I think that might be the only thing Pearson Carmichael hasn't done right today, right?
Right.
When you look at Boise State, they have 5 guys in double figures, and Carmichael tied with team-high 14 points.
Gatete.
Misses that one. And the foul will be on the floor against Lockett Jr.
So the Falcons will go to the line. And Duskin will try and get into the score sheet.
Well, Sam Duskin, he credits his dad and his grandfather for having the biggest influence on his sports career, as he's long on the first one.
So Duskin, the second one.
That's no good. That'll be 80-52. Free throw line has been a house of horrors for the Air Force Falcons. 9 of 18 as a nice take swatted away on Bowie and rebounded by the Falcons. There we go.
Nice play by Gatete to save that off the Bronco.
In transition, in the corner. Okay, for 3. That's good.
Gonna like to see it.
80-55 is our score. Falcons with another triple as Air Force has hit their 9th three-pointer of the evening. And the shot no good. Nice job defensively by Air Force. Not giving up with 35 seconds to go. Trying to put some more points on the board. Working their offense. The future of the Falcons right here. Okay. To Duskin. Now to Springer. Okay, with 9 on the clock. In the mid-range, backing his way down, looking for some help. Shoots it up off the window, and it's good. With 9.6 seconds to go, the Falcons now on a 14-2 run. And with that, that's the way this one will end as we reach the finish line. Boise State gets the W in a convincing 80-57 win over the Air Force Falcons. And with the win, Boise State improves to 22-8 on the year, 14-5 in conference play. And the Falcons, it will drop to 4-26, 1-18 in the Mountain West. We'll wrap things up when we return to Clune Arena in a moment. Well, for the final time at Clune Arena, the Air Force Falcons play a basketball game at home, and Boise State comes away victors 80-57. As we welcome you back to the scorers table, Justin Adams along with Brian German. And Brian, this is one of those games where when you talk to Joe Scott at halftime, he said, hey, we got to make shots. And it was just that story. It was very tough for Air Force to be able to make buckets and it hurt them in the end.
Yeah, it certainly did. And I think it really boils down to the beginning of this game. Air Force came out on fire. Bo Becker, you know, all 5 seniors on the court on senior night. Bo Becker hits his first 2. They're up 6-0. They're up 8-2. And then they started to miss shots, and those shots weren't going down. They needed to build that to a 12, to a 15-point lead. This would have been a whole different basketball game. Unfortunately, the shots just not falling tonight.
What's interesting about it is you actually mentioned that several times during that run. Hey, they got to build the lead. They got to build the lead. And then it was Boise State after the first media timeout, the first 4 minutes, they were physical and got themselves back in this game. Had a 12-0 run. And after that, it was all she wrote.
Yeah, and that 12-0 run came by turnovers. The Falcons were turning the ball over, and it just came in bunches. They only turned it over 12 times today, but just bad decisions like that by Will Cooper. That gets the ball to Boise State for an easy 2. And you mentioned they went on that run, and they did not look back. Here's Degenhart with the steal, taking it coast to coast for the chippy. And, man, Boise State is going to be a team to watch. Cardinas is one of the great players on this team. Went over 200 assists on the season this year. He also ended up with 13 points on the day, and Tyson Degenhart only 11 points on the day with just 2 rebounds. So the Falcons, if they came in trying to stop him, they did it, but not well enough because the rest of the Broncos got them ahead, and they pulled away late in the second half and then pulled away even more here, 80-57 the final score.
Yeah, Pearson Carmichael, very impressive, the freshman from Bend, Oregon, with 14 points, 1 of 4 from downtown, but he also had 7 rebounds in the W as well. You think of guys like Omar Stanley with only 10 points. He had foul trouble all evening long, so it wasn't just Degenhart who was doing great work, but you also had a freshman doing some great job on the floor as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think for Leon Rice and his team, they're going to look at this game and say, we did what we had to do. Now, it might get a little bit tougher for them because they're going to run into a buzzsaw, although the CSU Rams will have to go to Boise State to win that game. That's the final game in the regular season.
Well, you know what, like just Coach said, right? It's March. Every game matters, and every game has just that much more importance. 2 teams on the bubble. That should be a fun one. But let's wrap things up when we talk about Air Force. Obviously, a tough season. Have 4 wins, 4-26. They'll go to Utah State to wrap up the regular season, and then they'll play in the Mountain West tournament. What's the bright spots that you can take away from the Falcons?
Well, I think the bright spots are those 5 young men who are going to graduate from the Air Force Academy, and they're going to go on and be officers in the Air Force and the Space Force, as we mentioned, where they're going to be. But if I'm Joe Scott, I give those 5 guys a chance to talk to these underclassmen and say, listen, here's the reasons why I stayed. This is why we think you should stay, and build this team back to where it can be, because the Air Force basketball team can be a lot better than they've shown this season.
Well, it's been a season of building blocks for the Air Force Falcons, and they built the foundation. Now we'll see how this foundation will grow in the future. Brian, it's always been a pleasure to be able to do this season with you. Once again, our final score from Clune Arena as Boise State beats the Air Force Falcons 80-57. And we want to say thank you for watching Air Force basketball and hockey all season long on Altitude Sports. We can't wait to bring you more action next year. This has been a presentation of Altitude Sports and Entertainment, your home for the Air Force Falcons. For myself, Justin Adams, and Brian German, and the entire crew, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next season on Altitude Sports.